I just would like to welcome Lauren Parsons, who from Lauren Parsons, Wellbeing Specialist, and she's here to share her journey from of journey to and in health and wellness, balance, all that wonderful stuff. And she is my first expert here in our What's Your Story Blab series. So, Lauren was. Do you just want to, we did just start accidentally and forget to, so we're just going to do a little recap so that everyone watching the replay can get the gold that was just shared. So we were just started talking about when we kind of both related to that awkward pubescent stage where we felt a little bit out of touch with our body and our eating and confidence and things like that. So do you just want to recap again what your experience was, Lauren, on that?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. Hey, thanks so much, Bronwyn, for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here and really excited. So I guess I've had quite a transformational change in my life, and that when I was growing up, I lacked complete confidence in myself and in my physical ability. And I can remember being at high school and right through my school years even, and really hating phys ed class. And I was that kid that was always the last one to be picked. You know, when people were picking people for their teams, it was like, I'll have you, and I'll have you, and I'd like you, and I'd like you. And I would be left standing there all on my own. And so I used to really hate and dread phys ed class. I was so nervous, I was so shy, and I would often be sick on those days. And so, you know, to go from that to now be working in health and wellbeing, to become a personal trainer, to be able to share what I do with thousands of people all around the country and around the world is such a privilege. And it's funny because one day I'll get to go back to a high school reunion or something, and I'm sure that my schoolmates will be like, really you, Lauren? Like, yeah, relating back to me. But honestly, that's probably the best thing that happened to me, really, because it helps me to relate to people wherever they're at. You know, I really love connecting with people and helping them where they're at to do what they can to get themselves boosting their health and their happiness for life. So, so it's been quite a transformation, and that's just one of the things, I guess. Yeah.
And you mentioned how you did the exchange to France, and this is when you both had a new experience with food that was, you know, you noticed indulging and growing in size, and then also seeing how the French do things a little bit different. So I just want to talk us through that experience again.
Yeah. So I went on a high school exchange, and I had this huge privilege to live with a host family in a little village just east of Paris, and I lived with them for a year, and I did have a great exchange. I got to learn French, but I also learned all about the culture. And I loved the food, and the food was a big part of the culture. And because I love the food so much, and I ate like a Kiwi in France, I actually put on a lot of weight in the first half of the exchange. So 6 months in, I was about 15 kilos heavier than I am now, and my health was going down. My skin was really awful. I just felt miserable. My clothes weren't fitting me anymore. And it was pretty dire. I was feeling really awful. And so I reached a point where I started to pay attention and to notice the way that everyone else around me was eating. And I started to actually realize that I was eating in a completely different way to the way that the French eat. And it was really by osmosis I started to understand the respect that the French have for food, and the way that they can kind of have this take it or leave it attitude to food. They'll indulge when they want to, but there's no guilt, and they'll prioritize getting lots of good nutrition in first. And so kind of by osmosis, I just started eating the way that the French ate, and really super effortlessly lost all the weight and more, came back to New Zealand feeling much lighter, happier, and just so much more comfortable with myself after that experience. So it's really great now, having had that, not just a secondhand knowledge of understanding the French paradox, which is that they can eat all this rich food but yet stay slim, but actually knowing why that is and how that is. And I love sharing that with people. So if you want to know more about that specifically, you can head over to my website, which has got a great article. So just go to laurenparsons.co.nz, and if you click on articles, just type in French in the search box, and it'll pop up. I think it's my top 10 tips from following the French. So find out more.
And you mentioned that the French eat in a more mindful manner when they eating their food. So, and I mentioned that I had, done a bit of mindfulness stuff, but I just felt like it was something that I just didn't have time to do. But you just gave some really golden tips about how a busy mum can still eat mindfully. So, and also, so could you just share those tips again, and also just recap on what it means to eat mindfully?
Yeah, sure. So mindful eating, I call that my number 2 nutrition tip. I mean, it could be number 1, but my number 1 tip is eat real food, okay? And one way to do that is to eat mindfully, because if you do eat mindfully, which means that you pay total attention to what it is that you're doing when you're eating, because eating is such a blessing. You know, we are so privileged here in New Zealand to have amazing food and clean water and all those things, and we do just take it for granted a lot of the time. And often we eat without really thinking about what we're doing. So mindful eating is just the opposite of that. So some really practical down-to-earth tips to help you eat more mindfully, which will improve your nutrition and help you with your digestion, because when you eat mindfully, you eat more slowly and with more purpose. And if you're ready to eat and your body's perhaps anticipating the meal, you know, even the time that is spent cooking and preparing a meal and smelling the aromas helps your body prepare to actually absorb it. Your digestive enzymes increase and all those good things. So some practical tips to help you eat mindfully, which will really boost your health, are to always sit down to eat. So you can make that a little positive rule for yourself. Whatever it is that you're eating, whether it's a main meal or a snack, you know, just place it, put it on a plate and sit down and eat it mindfully. And yeah, I know what it's like being a busy mum, because I have got an almost 2-year-old, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old myself. And so I know how busy it can be and how easy it can be just to grab something out of the fridge or out of the cupboard and just have a little handful of this. But all those little handfuls do add up, and often they don't help us with our health. So that's the number 1 thing, is sit down to eat. I do really recommend sitting down around a table as a family to enjoy your meals as much as possible. And that's one thing the French do. Not that it's all about the French, but just that's a great thing on lots of levels for relationships and lots of things. And then the other thing is, sometimes people would say like chew your food 20 times, but that just kind of sounds a bit tricky and a bit gross, really. So what I like to do is just picture almost like you're a master chef and you've got that challenge where you've got to try and work out what are the ingredients, what are the flavors in this meal or in this sauce, and it just helps you to really appreciate all the beautiful flavors. You know, what's in the salad, what's in the sauce today. It really is a fun way to get more engaged with your food and be more aware of it, because quite often we do just eat mindlessly. You know, if you have a couple of squares of chocolate and you're actually doing it while you're sitting and looking at your computer, on your phone, watching TV, talking to someone, reading a book, it's almost like a minute later you won't have even registered what you've done. Whereas if you just sat down with it on a plate, maybe you had a cup of tea, I've got my cup of tea here, and you had your chocolate and you just focused on eating that and enjoying it, and then you start reading your book or doing whatever else, you'll actually register. And so if you register what you've done, then you'll feel more satisfied and you won't feel the need to keep going back for more, because you'll feel satisfied. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Does that help?
Thank you so much.
For mindfulness?
I love that. I'm definitely going to try that, because I know I even noticed today I was eating something and I was trying to pick what's inside it, and I did notice, you know, I was eating it slower because I was thinking about it. So that's a great tip. Thank you for that. Yeah. And so you came back with this revolutionary way of learning how to be with your food and your nutrition. And what happened next for Lauren Parsons?
So I was at high school, went over on exchange to France, and then I got back to New Zealand, and I, just like everyone else, I went to university and I did a business degree there at Massey University in Palmerston North, great place. And just like everyone else, I decided to join the gym. But what I found was that I just felt that it was a really intimidating environment. And again, especially after my high school experience, I'm not a sporty person, and I just found it was quite scary, really. And so when I went through into the gym, I can remember walking in and looking into the big hall and, just sort of seeing these ladies with these bars on their shoulders, and they were doing these movements going up and down. And I can remember seriously watching them and thinking, oh, I would never be able to do that. And I'd just go down to the circuit room and hide myself away. But then one day somebody said, hey, why don't you come along to the step aerobics class? And, you know, if anyone's been along to step aerobics class, you'll know what it's like. It's one of those classes that's got lots of choreography and there's a step, and it's one of the trickiest classes to actually get the moves off. And so while I didn't get all of the moves perfectly right, I actually found that I enjoyed myself. And this, I think, is the key to finding happiness through exercise is finding something you enjoy. And so now I enjoyed it and I kept going back. And one day they said, if you want to become an instructor, just come and see us afterwards. And so before I knew it, I'd completed the instructor's course. Somehow I kind of just had the rhythm of it. Little did I know all these years. And so, yeah, I then, when my boss who actually trained me up, she ended up leaving soon after, and I became the aerobics manager for the club temporarily. And then they said, oh, you do a pretty good job at that. You can stay doing that. So that really launched me into my entire career in health and well-being. And because before that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I'd come back to New Zealand and open a creperie and make, beautiful crepes, French pancakes, but that didn't never happen. So yeah, so I started out then, I went in and worked in management in the gym. I then went on to become an instructor at the New Zealand College of Fitness, teaching nutrition and personal training and human motivation and psychology and all these different things around how to help people boost their health and happiness. So that's what I do now. I've linked that together. The interesting thing I found is that I had lots of women, Bronwyn, that were coming to me and saying, oh, I just want to lose weight because when I lose that weight, then I'll feel better. What I've come to realize, and this is perhaps the best thing to know, is that you don't need to lose a single gram to feel any better. You can actually feel a whole lot better just as you are. And so the best place to start out anything in life, but especially helping improve your health and happiness, is starting from a place of knowing that you are precious and that you are amazing just the way that you are. And when you start from a place where you accept where you're at and you love yourself, curves and all, imperfections and all, you actually can go out and really enjoy a journey towards amazing, stunning health. But it comes from a really positive place, because trying to just lose a bit of weight so you feel better isn't really ever going to help. So that was why I got qualified as a life coach, so I could help people with kind of the mental side of it. And so now I work quite holistically, helping people look and feel great about themselves, but really have great health on the inside that shines out of them. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's really interesting, because we totally need that psychology part here, and I think in the New Zealand culture, because like you said, in France, they don't have the mind games around the food. But we do here. It's kind of been ingrained in us, the good, bad foods, the good, bad exercise. It kind of needs to be unraveled, doesn't it? So you do need someone who understands the mind games and the mindset of people to help people move into a place where they are more gentle on themselves around what they're eating and how they're exercising. So is that what you found? Yeah.
And like I was specializing in doing strength training with ladies and helping them reshape their bodies. And that was great. And they were seeing amazing results. And that was excellent. But a lot of them, while they were actually seeing physical results, they were still really stressed out. Some of them weren't sleeping very well. Some of them had real relationship things going on. Some of them, they were perhaps not eating enough, and there were lots and lots of other issues going on. And I didn't want to just help people in that one area. I just wanted to see them thriving and flourishing and feeling amazing. And so, it has been the last 16 years that I've done a whole range of different things, 6 years of different study, because I just love learning and I'm always learning. But I think that the best thing is starting from that place when you know that you are worthy of taking care of. And so, especially to all the busy mums out there, life is just so hectic, and I totally get that. And I think that we feel like we are being selfish when we take some time out for us. And so, one of my clients I was chatting to the other week, the first thing she was talking about was how busy she was. She's running her business, and she's got her young son, who's similar age to mine, coming up to 2 years old. And, she was just saying, but she just wants to get her mojo back. And so I said, well, how would you feel about doing a fun, interactive workout together with your son? Okay, let's call him Kyle, just for keep it confidential kind of type thing. So I was like, how would you feel about working out together with Kyle? And she's like, that'd be great, And so we just devised a little plan for her to be able to go and do some sprints and some jumps and probably some interactive things where she's throwing him in the air or he's climbing on her back as a horsey, and, then going down to the park, to the playground, where playgrounds are fantastic workout places, where she can use like the bar and she can do some chin-ups and modified chin-ups and step-ups. And not only is she taking time out for her and getting exercise in, which is going to boost her mood, lots of dopamine is going to flood through her body. It's going to actually energize her and get her feeling great. She's also setting a great example for her son, Kyle, his imaginary name. And it's also going to mean that she's going to actually help improve his development. There's lots and lots of great things that are great for vestibular stimulation for children. It's like their inner ear. So if you can get your kids and you can do a squat with them and then lift them in the ear, or do a squat and then throw them in there and catch them really safely. Or if you can lay them down on the floor and you can do press-ups over top of them and blow raspberries on their tummy or kiss their forehead, kiss their cheeks. If you can have them on your back and do some squats or do some lunge walks, or have them in your arms and swing them and sway and lunge down and up, all of those things are going to be a great workout for you as the mum, but they're going to be great for your kids because it's touch, it's bonding time, it's a great example. So I love that, often as mums we put ourselves last, but if you picture this as your kids, developmental learning time, especially for babies and toddlers, and that this is your bonding time for kids of any age, then that's a really good way to prioritize it, because it only takes 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it really will make a difference.
That's beautiful. I think you wrote an article recently on the baby exercises with the pictures.
Yeah, that was actually one. Yeah, I don't know if we can share some links, or with the replay perhaps share a link.
Oh, yeah.
People search under Little Treasures magazine, and Lauren Parsons, there'll be an article, I think it was from 3 years ago, but it's a great mum and baby workout that is designed to be the optimal workout to help the developmental phase of your baby, but you can also do it with toddlers and older kids as well, just as more of a workout because they're a growing weight. So so just Google that, look for it under the Little Treasures New Zealand magazine website.
Wonderful. I love that holistic approach that you're talking about to exercise and nutrition, that, as you said, zeroing in on one area often leaves out a whole raft of other areas that need to be examined at the same time. So I love that you have that approach, and it's about, I feel that it takes care of the person on a whole, what you're talking about, rather than just making sure that they're doing certain exercises and things like that. So that's just the well-being part of what you do. So I think that's just amazing.
Yeah.
And so you said you got into aerobics, and you were doing that and teaching and everything. So how did you from there, did you progress into your own business, or was there any steps in between there?
Yeah, so I guess so my husband's in the military, so we've moved around several times. So that has really sort of shaped the way that I've done things. So we first moved from Palmerston North to Christchurch, and I was there for 4 years working at Pro Fitness Gym, which was one of the major centres down there. And it was such an amazing place to work because I had so many incredible colleagues, and we had such a great investment in our ongoing training. And then my boss at the time, Steve Barry, who's a great guy. Hi, Steve, if you're listening. He then started the New Zealand College of Fitness as a joint venture with Kieran, Rowan and McAvoy, who are amazing people, real leaders in health and fitness. And so they started this college to train amazing personal trainers that really knew how to relate to people. And so I was honoured to be able to not just go through the program, but to become one of the lecturers there. My actual job title was presenter of fun and laughter. That was
I love it.
it was just it was an amazing place. It had smiley face cushions and lime green walls and fruit bowls and herbal teas, and it was all about teaching anatomy, physiology through song and dance and accelerated learning. And it was an incredible place to be at in terms of personal development as well. So I did that for a while and was personal training. And then we got whisked away over to France, and I did a range of different things. I did a little bit of consulting because they were like, wow, you're from New Zealand, the country of Les Mills. Woohoo. Les Mills aerobics programs, which are around the world, is amazing. But then we moved from Christchurch to Paris, and then Paris to Waiouru. So Paris to Waiouru, it was a bit of a change. But then we started having a family and those sorts of things. And we've been from there to Palmerston North, then to Canberra, and now down to Wellington. So I'm now based in Wellington. So over the last few years, I have just run my own business. And so I do one-on-one consulting with people. I catch up through a different program to this, but kind of catching up screen to screen, chatting to my clients, which is great. So they're all over the world, really, mostly in New Zealand and Australia, but there's a few from around the place. So I think we've got someone from India on the call, so hello out there. And as well as that, what I love to do is to get groups of women together. So I run Wellbeing retreats. I've got revitalised Wellbeing retreats that I've run over the last 5 years, where we take a group of ladies away for a weekend and just have an amazing, rejuvenating, empowering experience where you're getting lots of education and inspiration, but also experiencing what it's like to take some time out for you and and learning to do some different practices that are going to restore you. So yeah, that's one thing that I do. And then the other main thing that I do is work with businesses, helping them to boost their health and happiness, and speak and travel to speak to different places. And then online, because of the moving around, I realized that being able to do personal training face-to-face isn't so practical right now. So I have an online program called Get Fit, Feel Fabulous. And it's just my flagship program, and it's got absolutely all of my best advice and tips and everything that I've learned over the last 16 years that's delivered online, so people can take part from anywhere. So it's great. I send out a pack, first of all, with a gratitude journal and a resistance band, so people get that in the mail, because I think that's really valuable. And then after that, everything's delivered online. So it's short, sharp videos and my 24 step to success tips, which, well, they're more than tips, but they're my philosophy that works you through. And the feedback that I've got, Bronwyn, I don't know about you, but when you're trying to make a big change in life, often we rush out and we just try and change everything at once. And that's been proven to be the biggest way to fail, really. So what I've found is that by breaking it down into small steps and placing them in the right order and working through them, people give me the feedback that is the way that they find it absolutely transforms their life, because by taking one small step, having that motivation, having the accountability, you put that one in place, and then you can build on it and build on it. So by the end of 12 weeks, you've got these 24 steps in place, and you've literally changed the way that you live, and that sets you up for long-term success. So whatever way that people are out there, if you're listening and you're wanting to change anything about your health and happiness, my number one tip to you is to break it down to one small specific thing that you can do this week, something that you could do as of tomorrow, and then just focus on that one thing. And actually I believe on the homepage on my website, laurenparsons.co.nz, there's a little video tip from me exactly on how to use a 2-step process that will transform your life. And it's all about that power of focusing on one thing. So that's really available if you want to check that out. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect, because I am wanting to learn about whole food eating and start to do more of that. And it feels like to me like I have to I just have to get rid of everything in my pantry and just start from scratch. And that feels totally overwhelming. And I can see if I try to do something like that, it's like, right, I'm not going to eat anything from a packet or a can, and it has to be all fresh and organic and everything like that. I'm just going to be completely overwhelmed and probably not able to stick at it, because I need to phase something like that into my life and make those small changes, because I can be a bit of an all or nothing person. And so, and I think maybe a lot of Kiwis are, I don't know, or maybe it's just me. But yeah, I think remembering to go step by step is so very important. And it's nice to know that there is that you can just change one thing at a time, and you are making progress that way. So I love that approach.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so passionate about women and mums doing things that they are passionate about. So I'm drawn to passionate people and love to hear their stories and everything, which is why I'm interviewing you today. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about why you absolutely love and are passionate about what you do, and and why does it light you up? What lights your fire about the work that you do?
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, that's the sort of question that I love, because I'm so incredibly blessed that I do love what I do. And, my vision is to equip and inspire people to truly boost their health and their happiness for life. And I really see those two things as being totally connected, because, how can we really be healthy if we're not happy? And vice versa, how can we be happy if we're not healthy? So it's such a privilege to be able to work in this field, because it is so rewarding, because it makes such a difference to people's lives. And for me to be able to see that, to be able to see people growing, coming out of their shell, growing in their confidence, to be able to see people coming down off medication, whether it's blood pressure and heart pills, or whether it's antidepressants, because they are putting in place things in their life that are helping them to support their own health and happiness, it is just incredible and phenomenal. And really, the reason that I do what I do is because I want to see a positive ripple effect that goes out into the world, and I can't change the whole world on my own. That's absolutely impossible, and I totally get that. And so what I love seeing is my clients and the people in my community, seeing them being able to go out and have an influence on their own families, on their own colleagues, on their own communities, their own schools, wherever it is that they are. I had the privilege to speak to quite a large local business recently, and I just talked to the HR manager again today to hear some feedback on how it went. She said, "Oh, it's been amazing. They've had such positive feedback and they're so energized." And she said, "You know that someone the other day, he just came into work and he put on the Pharrell Williams Happy song and he cranked it up." And she said, "Do you know, there was people laughing, there was people smiling, there was even people dancing." And this is, in a professional office. And she said, luckily there wasn't anyone sort of complaining that it was a little bit too off the edge. But for me, that's a song that I use a lot when I speak. And so I'd had that going during the workshop. And, so seeing things like that happen where, I have this philosophy to snack on exercise in short, sharp bursts that are easy to fit in your day. And sometimes I'll share that with someone. But if it's one person in an office and I'm like, yeah, you should just jump up from your desk and just do a 1 minute little burst of exercise and stretch, and it's going to, switch your brain on and make you more energized, make you more productive. Your boss will love you for it. If they're the only one in that workplace, they're kind of going to be like, "Oh, really? Can I do this?" Whereas I love being able to see the ripple effect that's created when a whole workplace can embrace, yes, we want to have a positive culture, and yes, we want to have an energized culture. And the great thing about mums, especially women in general, but especially, well, we're all kind of mums. We all have that mother heart, and I know you talk about that. And I love, your heart behind this Mothers Unite movement it's that mothering heart that we have. And, as mums, we often are responsible for the nutrition that takes place in our homes, whether it's the purchasing or the preparing of it. The stats still show us that predominantly it is the women that do that. And so I love that I get to help a lot of those women really do what you're saying, just be able to unravel, how do I transition to eating more real food? How do I encourage my kids to do that? How do I encourage my husband to do that? Or my family or my friends, So to come back to your question, the reason I do what I do is I absolutely love it. I absolutely believe that it can make such a difference, not just in one person's life, but in the lives of those around them. And so seeing that positive ripple is just incredible.
Yeah, totally. I get that totally. And it's awesome because we're modeling not just to our children, but anyone that's observing us and sees us behaving differently, or that we've changed, we look more healthy, more vibrant, people notice that and go, "What are you doing? What's that? How are you, you're looking different, you're looking more healthy, they want to know." And then they get to share, what they've learned from you, and it will just ripple out. And I think that's just brilliant.
Yeah. And today I was at the park and there was a lady next to me pushing her nephew, it was on the swing. And she said to him, "Now, what do you want to have for lunch today, sweetie?" And he said, eggs and salad. And I went, "What an awesome answer." I just went, "Wow, that is amazing." I said, "That is so cool." I was thinking, wow, someone is modeling positively for him, because, he was like 3.5, eggs and salad. I was like, "Yes, you got it, buddy."
Awesome. Ask my girls, they're probably going to say spaghetti. So yeah, I've got a ways to go.
No, that's okay.
But absolutely, very, very cool, as you say, to see those changes and those sort of things happening in the family. So I think that this would be a really good time for us to talk about those top tips that you had about mums thriving and not just surviving. And it's just, I think there are days, especially during school holidays, where we feel like we just need to survive. And it would be great if we could thrive at the same instead. So you can go ahead and share those tips. And if there's anyone on the interview that has some specific questions that they would like to ask Lauren while she's here, please just type in the chat box and down the bottom right there, and let us know if there are anything in particular you'd like to hear about or are struggling with. So let's hear those tips.
Okay, great. Yeah, so any questions, fire away. But I did just jot down a few ideas, because there's so many things that do help us to thrive, not just survive. One of them I really believe is we do need movement in our day. And I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but my philosophy is to snack on exercise. So just like even when we're busy, we still find time to brush our teeth, right? And so if we do that, 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, that's 4 minutes every single day that we spend just looking after this little part of our bodies. So if we could spend 4 minutes every day looking after the whole of our bodies, how incredible would that be? And it doesn't even have to be 4 minutes in a row. So as a mum, one of the best ways to exercise is to just picture that you're just going to snack on exercise in short, sharp little bursts throughout the day. So it could be that you do a set of press-ups, like on the kitchen bench while the jug boils, do a set of press-ups, do some squats, throw your kids in the air, do that interactive kind of thing with your kids if you can. Find some ways to fit it in. Every set of stairs you see, jog up them or briskly walk up them. Work within your own physical, where you're at and where your fitness is at right now. But what you'll find is that small things really do add up. And not only is snacking on exercise going to boost your fitness and your health, it's really going to help you boost your mood as well and really boost your mental health, which is so important as a mum, because we want to be happy mums and we want to, we want our kids to remember us as happy, loving, laughing mums, right? So snacking on exercise will just, again, you can head to the website. If you go to snackonexercise.co.nz, that's got some info on how to do that and why to do that. And I think there's like 9 tips on how to start. So try that out. My number 2 tip here that I wrote down for you is getting sunlight. We're designed to have sunlight. So especially with the winter months coming, I thought this was really important to mention. Really, really key thing to help you have good deep sleep, which is also hugely important. We know as mums, and I know what it's like to have broken sleep, to get sunlight into your eyes in the middle of the day. So take your sunglasses off, get sunlight into your retina for, say, 10 minutes around lunchtime or as close to as you can. It's really going to help to boost your vitamin D, and it's really going to help to make sure that you get the right melatonin, serotonin balance. Okay, and if you're boosting that serotonin, that's your feel-good hormone. It's going to help you keep you feeling happy and in balance. Okay, it's also going to actually even help curb cravings. Okay, something else. And it's going to help you sleep more deeply. Okay, sleep is just crucial. So there's lots of things that you probably know you can do to help improve your sleep. What I would suggest is that you just need to really be disciplined to do those things, especially if you're like me. If you're a night owl like me, you need to make sure that you too, pay attention to making sure that you're actually staying away from screens within 2 hours of bedtime. Just like your kids have a wind down routine, have your own wind down routine, whatever that is. Breathing, learning to breathe really well and diaphragmatically will literally change your life. So if you don't already know what diaphragmatic deep breathing is, it is just the best way to get your body instantly out of that sympathetic nervous system stress mode and into your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest, digest, restore mode. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things that we see mums these days, that our stress levels are up to here because, that's what kids can do. Sometimes they can be stubborn, they can be unruly, they can be disrespectful, they can just push your button sometimes. And with everything else that's going on in life, that can get to you. Now, stress in and of itself is not a bad thing, but you just need to make sure that you kick in your body's natural relaxation mode and wind down, restore mode. And the best way to do that is through deep diaphragmatic breathing. So I'm not sure whether you're familiar with that, but if you place your hand on your chest and one on your belly and you breathe into your belly, and that's really important. So snack on exercise, get great sunlight. The other thing is your nutrition is really important to help you thrive as a mum. And, we talked before about mindful eating, which is my number 2 tip. My number 1 tip really is to eat more real food. Don't worry about all the fads and the diets. That they don't get caught up in all of that. Just really focus on eating more real food. And so a practical tip of how to do this is to focus on getting more vegetables into your life. Okay, but rather than just sort of having a vague goal, I'm going to try and eat more veggies, one really great thing, again, that came from the French that we do, is to have a salad entree before dinner every night. I don't know, do you ever do a salad entree, Bronwyn?
I have not tried that, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, okay. So, and this is one thing, and you're not alone. Like, lately I've been asking this every time I speak to a group, and the general response I get is maybe one hand up, but usually it is 0. Just, that's just life in New Zealand. We often don't have entrees. But one thing in France, at lunch and dinner, you always have a salad entree. Or you always have an entree, and usually it's a salad. And it can be really quick and easy to throw a salad together, especially if you have a little jar of vinaigrette made up. Always dress it with a vinaigrette. It's got to taste amazing. I have kind of a blueprint for the way that I do my salads. I just use up anything that's anything that's the freshest and the ripest sort of fruit and veggies that are around, so that I make sure I never waste food, because I really hate food wastage. And then, add in some extra, maybe something sweet, maybe something savory, maybe add some nuts, some grilled nuts, adds the flavor, makes it amazing. Great vinaigrette. Now, what you want to do is sit down at the table, really important, eat mindfully, serve up the salad, and dress the salad first, then serve it up. And then because it's dressed, you're going to make sure you want to finish it, right? So everyone's going to have their salad course, and then you're going to bring out your main meal. And, you know, I shared in a workshop recently, and I had a couple of people say, does it really matter if you eat the salad beforehand? Why not just eat it at the same time? But I really believe that this changes the way that you eat. And what it does is it slows down your meal. It means that you actually fill up on lots of really fiber-rich vegetables, which are full of nutrition, lots of minerals, vitamins, phytochemicals, and fiber in vegetables. So they're going to help you actually really feel full and satisfied. It's going to mean that you're not sort of chowing down when you're really hungry. So it means that you're going to have a much better portion control with your main meal. And you're setting a great example for everyone in your family by doing that. And people will eat more vegetables overall by having a plate full of salad first, and then probably having some other maybe hot veggies with your main. You'll eat more good stuff. So I don't know, what do you, that's for me, it's kind of a simple thing because we've just done it now for years. And people say you even have a salad in winter, but we'll often have coleslaws or different things. Could even just be some carrot sticks. Could be that you just, you know, in France, they often just open a can of lentils and add a dressing to that. And it's just so simple. And actually, when you have a single ingredient type salad, like just sliced cucumber with a bit of a Greek yogurty dressing or some grated carrot salad, something like that, you actually really appreciate the flavour of that one main ingredient a whole lot more. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that something you think you'd try in your family, Bronwyn?
I would love to try that. I would like to try it just to see what happens, you know, because, you know, you kind of get these thoughts in your mind like, oh, the kids won't eat a salad. But how do I know unless I actually try it? You know, I just never really thought that, you know, I'm thinking, you know, just try it and just have it.
Salad, like, you know, kids will often like, you know, do just like a chunky salad with cubes of cheese, pickle, tomato, carrot, something like that. Like that's a nice easy mix that kids will generally like. And the more that you keep presenting it, the more that they will eat it. And I do have a very, very easy to please eldest daughter, and then I do have a very opposite second daughter. Sorry, my darling, but you really were really hard to work. And so I do know what it's like to have a child that is incredibly strong-willed, incredibly stubborn, and that refuses to eat vegetables. I totally get that. And so you've got to be a little bit flexible, but we would perhaps out of the salad give her one thing that she would eat. And she now loves tomatoes. And, you know, and do things like make the shapes and make the animals out of it and things like that, you know, like do the Mickey Mouse face, whatever, with the carrots and things. That stuff really works. And, you know, the more that you just present it and everyone's eating it, that they will have it. And, you know, my second daughter, she'll often will only just finish her salad just when the hot food comes out because it's like, oh, I've got to eat this now. But, yeah, it's just an interesting one. So that's my tip around nutrition, like just to get, I know this is one specific small thing, but eat real food. Yes. Focus on getting more good stuff in first rather than having a diet or deprivation mentality, because if you say all day, I don't want to eat chocolate, 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 all your subconscious hears you shouting at it is chocolate, 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 because it doesn't hear the word don't. And so then you obviously want more chocolate more, and you just, you know, eventually give in and eat the whole block and feel pretty awful physically and emotionally. You feel guilty and you kind of hide the packet away, you know, so no one sees it, all that kind of thing. So we know what that's like, but you can get out of that routine by going, okay, I'm allowed to have chocolate whenever I want. I'm allowed to have chocolate, but I'm just going to have one piece at a time, and I'm going to sit down and eat it mindfully. And you truly can transform the way that you feel about the food by doing that, and just get lots of good stuff in first. Yeah.
I see we've got a comment here from Beth saying that she eats her lettuce and veggies out of the garden. I need to meet you. I want to get into growing my own, and you know, it's a huge step for me, for someone who has black thumbs, not green thumbs at all. But it'll be another challenge. If you know anything about me and my movement, I'm all about setting myself challenges and getting out of my comfort zone. And so the gardening challenge and being someone that grows their own is certainly something I'm moving towards. And that probably sounds like not much of a challenge to some people who think it's easy, just plant the veggies. There's something there for me that makes me go, oh, it's all a bit hard, but I can't wait to throw myself in the deep end and do that. So yeah, I love that you're enjoying this, Beth. So
that's a really great idea with kids as well. If you get them to grow it, or even to get them to pick it, like my daughters love picking herbs, and we don't have a huge garden at the moment, but I'd recommend, Robin, start out just with some herbs. Start with some herbs. Every garden needs herbs and a lemon tree, you know, and one, because it adds so much flavour to your food, and two, because you just want to be able to pick them fresh and whole. And
I
then
love that idea. Yeah.
just grab a few little bits and pieces and slowly build up. But it is a big deal. It's not, don't minimize it. It's great. If you could start moving towards it, fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah. So tip number 1, more real food. And tip number 2 is snack on exercise. Is that right?
Yeah. Snack on exercise. There's a few there in different orders, but my number 1 nutrition tip is eat real food. My number 2 nutrition tip is eat mindfully. Number 1 exercise tip is to snack on exercise in those short, sharp bursts. Other really important things to see you thrive is to get sunlight into your eyes in the middle of the day. Another key thing is to hydrate, and you might have seen me just drinking. So what I would say is, rather than just think to yourself, I've got to drink more water, is I would recommend that you say to yourself, okay, what is my strategy for drinking more water? Okay, so rather than just have a sort of a vague intention of I'm going to try and drink more water, which really is quite hard to make a change unless you've got something specific, is choose a strategy. So I love having a carafe of water in a glass, and then just aim to finish that maybe by morning tea time and again by lunchtime. It might be that you decide to get a nice bright coloured glass or cup, get a new cup and put that somewhere you'll see it, beside the desk. If you're, I don't know, beside the kitchen sink, somewhere you're going to see it regularly, and each time you see it, just, finish it off. Or maybe you set a reminder in your phone to go off every hour. It's great to drink lots and lots of water or herbal teas or non-caffeinated, non-sugar drinks. All of those things count as extra hydration. But you want to try and avoid having too much water during meal times as well. I know we're making it trickier for you. I know, sorry. But that's also really important, so you're not then diluting your stomach acid, which is going to impact negatively on your digestion. So it's really great to drink lots of water, but in between meals, and it really will help. There's so many processes in your body that absolutely rely on water, and so if you are not able to get enough water, like your brain is 80% water, so you can't be a healthy, happy mum unless you are well hydrated. So that is really foundational, and I know you've heard it before, but my suggestion is choose one strategy that you're going to do. So have a glass of water every day before morning tea, before lunch, set a timer, use a bottle, have a drink bottle, whatever it is, choose one strategy and just try it out. And if it doesn't work, try something different. I've got a dozen strategies in my Get Fit Feel Fabulous program, and that is one of the first things we focus on is just hydration, because it makes such a difference. It even makes you taller. Wow. I know, and for me, I'm a shorty, so, expert Barbara Bryant from Exalt Sport and Performance, she taught me that actually hydration is so important for the discs in your spine, and it will make you taller and give you better posture. So if you weren't already convinced, there's just one more reason to drink more water.
And you just mentioned the Get Fit Feel Fabulous program, which I myself I'm about to start. So I'm really excited to get into it and give things a try. And I will just put here in the chat box the affiliate link for you guys if you also want to check it out. Now I hope that this is the right link. Well, I get that. Actually, I might just do it with the replay because I'm a little bit worried that it's the wrong link that I've just copied. So anyway, when I do the replay, you guys will see the affiliate link there, that if you wanted to give it a try with Lauren with the Get Fit Feel Fabulous program, it sounds amazing. Can you just talk everyone through what's involved again with the Get Fit Feel Fabulous program?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So Get Fit Feel Fabulous, it is, my kind of flagship program. It's where I put everything that I've learned over the last 16 years, and it really is your guide to transforming how you look and feel for life. So it's all about helping set you up throughout 12 weeks, teaching you everything you need to get you feeling great. So it's all about time-saving workouts. You get full meal plans with shopping lists that make it really easy. And I haven't really talked about this so much, but the other thing with nutrition is to always cook in bulk so that you get several nights of cooking. Like tonight, I cooked 5 meals tonight. When I cooked dinner, we ate one of them, and then I'm going to freeze the other 4. So have it, so you're going to set yourself up with a freezer full of a library of food in your freezer. So with all of my meal plans, they're all designed to help you save lots and lots of time, save money, and set yourself up so you have several nights of cooking every night. And the recipes are all tested out on my family, on my kids, my husband, so they're all very family friendly. So you get everything you need there nutrition-wise, but most importantly, you get my 24 steps to success, which are the foundational lessons that I've put together from everything that I've learnt, and that really build one on the other. And so the way that it works is that you get your pack sent out to you at the start, and because I really believe in the value of having an actual paper diary for you to hold on to. You've got your gratitude journal that comes out to you. You've got your space to set your goals and then track how you're going every single day with inspirational quotes, space to write down your gratitudes for the day, because what we focus on increases. And so when we focus on what we're thankful for, we get more of it. You also get your resistance band. So that is like, I should have just had one handy, but if you imagine a beautiful little band and you can just take it anywhere and you can use that to do your great full body workout that's going to strengthen your body, because strength training is also really important. It's like our fountain of youth, and it helps strengthen our muscles and our bones, which is incredibly important for women once we're over 25, because as we age, our muscles atrophy and it's easier to put on weight and our metabolism slows, and strength training actually fights back against that, and it literally is your fountain of youth. So Google fountain of youth, you'll find on my website an article around that. So you get your resistance band posted out to you so you can do all the workouts. You get access to all of my time-saving workouts. So there's the videos, you can do them along with me. There's printable circuit cards. There's a lovely stretch and relaxation video and cards as well to follow along with. And each week, twice a week, you get a short, sharp video lesson from me. So it's 2 to 3 minutes. It's on one specific topic, and it takes you through those 24 steps to success. So the whole program is designed to really save you time, and you do it all from home, or you can do it at the gym. You can do it with your trainer if you have a trainer, with a friend. You can do it in your lounge, just wherever it suits you. So you just need to be able to commit to opening your email 3 times a week and watching my little 2 to 3 minute video, and then you've got the weekend to plan ahead your meals, and you'll find that the feedback that I get is that it is so doable that you really can put it into place. So by the end of the 12 weeks, you've just transformed your life. We also have a private forum for all the ladies that have taken part in the program. And so that's a great place where people share their successes, and it's great. One of the ladies recently, she was just 4 weeks in, and she was like, I'm back into my size 12 max jeans that I've not worn for over 5 years. Like, how great. And it's not just all about those physical things, but there's other people saying that I've got one lady who took part with her 2 teenage daughters, and between the 3 of them, they lost 30 kilos. And she said it just transformed their household. It transformed their pantry. It transformed the way that they did meal times, transformed the snacking on exercise, but also the positive focus, all of the mindset tips. So it really is everything that you need, but it is in small digestible bites. So it makes it easy just to actually make it happen. So and that's all available online. And if you would like to join and you've heard of this through Bronwyn, through watching this today, just make sure you mention that you heard of it through Bronwyn when you register. And I would also love to send you out a signed copy of my book as well, which is on 7 myths to overcome to get in the best shape of your life. So check it out. There's also an early bird special on right now that closes at midnight on Friday, the 22nd of April, which for me right now is in a couple of days. So whenever you're watching this, hopefully you're watching this before Friday the 22nd, because you will be able to save $200 with that. So check that out.
And what is the early bird price?
So the early bird price is $297. So it's normally $497. Right now it's $297. And if you prefer, rather than paying it in a lump sum, you can just do a weekly payment if you want. So you'll see the options there. You can just choose the option that suits you. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you do the weekly payment option. So that's great. Cool. We'll get to it, people, because it's, early bird price finishes on midnight Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, midnight Friday. Yeah. And the other thing just mention is I will be launching for the first time a VIP group, which is going to be for a group of 8 ladies. And there's a whole lot of extra things that are basically included in there, including one-on-one coaching with me, group coaching with the 8 of us. So it'll be in a similar environment to this, a little slightly different program, but we're going to be sharing that and sharing some different ideas and tips. And I'll be answering people's questions, but not only will I be helping the other person in the team, but the things that I'll be sharing will be able to help everyone. So we'll be working together as a team, and as well as that, you get a whole lot of extra things. So if anyone's interested in that, you can just email me. I will be updating the website with more details on that shortly. But that VIP option it's basically my chance to do a trial run with this and to really add this higher level of accountability and support. And through doing that, you have your own private forum and lifetime access to everything. So, so I look forward to having a group of just 8 ladies. We've got a couple confirmed, so we're just looking forward to a few more to join me for that VIP level. So there's either the standard level or you can join me for that VIP. So,
and what email address can they get you on, Lauren?
Sorry?
What email address can they get you on?
So you can email me on info@laurenparsons.co.nz. Yeah. Or just if you head to the website, you can send anything in through the contact form. Yeah.
Yep. And that website's just www.laurenparsons.co.nz, is that right?
That's it. Yeah, Lauren Parsons. So same as it's spelt here above my name, you should see it there, laurenparsons.co.nz. If you Google Lauren Parsons, I think I still hopefully come up on the list there.
You are right at the top for Lauren Parsons. That's awesome. Okay, well, I think for these just last few minutes, if anyone's got a question that they would like to ask Lauren, we will just we'll just leave a few more minutes for people to if they just in the chat box bottom right, if you've got a question for Lauren that you're
High Hills. You've missed most of it, but nice to have you with us.
Yes, indeed. I will just ask my own question while people are thinking about if they have one. So I talked a little bit before we started our interview about my exercise beliefs. And I did mention that I am doing, I do a belly dancing class, and I like to do yoga. Although belly dancing is, involves quite a bit of movement, I'm not doing anything that I feel like strengthens my muscles, and I'm not doing any muscle training, and I'm not doing anything that feels like a lot of endurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got these ideas in my head that those are things I should be doing, but at the same time I feel like, I just don't want to do that stuff because I've tried it before and it feels so hard and hurts and all sorts. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Is this something that I need, these are beliefs I need to overcome, or do you think that I'm already doing enough or stuff for my well-being?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, and we were talking about it before we started the live interview. So I think that is really common, like how you're feeling. That's how most people think about exercise. I often say that exercise is like a dirty word for people. They just think long, sweaty, uncomfortable, boring. But what I've come to discover is that exercise doesn't need to be that way at all. And that was why I asked you, what is it? Is there anything that you enjoy doing? Because I pictured maybe a dance class. I could see you doing that. So what I recommend that people do, number one, is find something that you enjoy doing that happens to be a real active hobby. So whether that's rock climbing or, dancing or whatever it is, but something that you enjoy that gets you moving, that is great. But what I would say as well as that is it is really important. I totally believe that all women should be doing strength training. Everyone should be doing strength training, but especially women, especially as we hit over 25, 30 years old, our bones start to deteriorate and degrade, and our muscles atrophy, and we need to reverse that, and we can. And, if we really think about all the benefits of strength training, it literally helps to boost your lean muscle, boost your metabolism, helps to improve your sporting performance, protects your joints, helps to stave off osteoporosis and arthritis, helps you have better quality of life, and it extends your life. So it literally is your fountain of youth. And if we could, I like to say that, if we could put it into a pill and put it into a bottle, man, that would be priceless, right? But the great thing is that it is priceless because it is free, because you are the best workout tool you will ever need, your own body, and there's so much you can do, just you. So that's something that you'll have the pleasure. I'm really looking forward to Bronwyn to taking you through this as we go through Get Fit Feel Fabulous, because you'll learn the way that I devise programs. They're all based on just working your whole body out in as little as 3 exercises. And for me, just to share again a personal story, when I was working at this major corporate gym down in Christchurch, I can remember being a workaholic, sitting at my desk, no natural light, being there from like 7 in the morning till 7:30 at night, and I felt I did not have time to exercise. And here I was in the management team of this gym, and I was, supposed to be setting a good example and could have been out there on the floor with my staff, but I felt I didn't have time. And that was when I was already teaching aerobics as well. So that was the only exercise I got. But then through going through the New Zealand College of Fitness program and learning this transformational information about how our bodies really work and all of the physiology and anatomy that I learned, I discovered, hey, you can actually work out in a really short amount of time and it will make a big difference. So learning how to snack on exercise in short, sharp bursts, and again, involve your kids, make it fun, find a way to play through movement as well. When you're at the playground, just jump on and do a few chin-ups or modified chin-ups, race up the hills, all those things. I think if you can focus on doing that and think about how energized it makes you feel, that is great. Now, you'd also mentioned endurance. I think if you want endurance, that is great. you don't necessarily have to train for endurance unless it's something that you want. So for me, because I know time is precious, the short, sharp bursts are the most important things. And, you know, hey, I think the challenge with endurance is the time. You know, I used to do road cycling. I loved it, but you'd need hours to do it, right? So now, you know, even if I've only got 10 minutes, I could still head out for a run. I'll just make it a really, you know, I'll try and go fast. But it's a lot easier to go fast for just 5 or 10 minutes than it is to try and picture, you know, running for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. And there used to be a myth that you had to train for 30 minutes before it even counted. I don't know if you've heard that, you know, like you might as well not train unless you're going to do 30 minutes. And that kind of came around as a myth because at around 30 minutes of exercise, we have this hormone called glycagon, which goes up, and that increases the percentage of fat that we burn, but it's just a percentage shift. So it's not a really big difference. But for some reason, people thought, oh, gosh, I shouldn't exercise unless I can do 30 minutes, as if the first 29 minutes didn't count, you know. So I think start where you're at, do what you can. Short, sharp bursts are great. And in a short, sharp burst, you can really boost the intensity. And the last tip I'll give you around motivating yourself to exercise is have your stuff there. So it's like you fall out of bed and somehow you've got your running gear on or your walking gear on. It's all ready to go for you, and you go out in the dark even. And before you know it, you're just out there on the street. And the other thing is focus more on how you will feel as you walk back up the drive, and think how proud you will feel rather than focusing on what it will feel like to actually be out there pounding the pavement. Okay, because you choose what you focus on. So focus on how proud you'll feel when you're done, and how, you know, because you know how great you'll feel. Yeah,
I can just,
that helps.
I live on this like almost vertical hill, so I'm just thinking about how I could set myself a challenge to walk up that.
Walk up the hill, yeah, and even just go up and down a little bit. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it's a workout just to get out to my car, just out on the street, because it's like, it really is a really steep hill. So I'm feeling excited about that. Can't wait to experience the program.
Great.
Well, I think we have a shy bunch tonight because it doesn't look like anyone has asked a question, or maybe we've just covered it all. So hooray! I think we have to end the blab. But it's been wonderful. Thank you, Lauren, for being my first guest, and it really has been very interesting to hear about your journey and your passion, and hear those tips, which I can't wait to start thinking about more and getting into it. And when I post the replay, I'll post it on the Mothers United movement Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be looking for it, and I'm sure Lauren, you'll post it on your
page. Through. So Lauren Parsons, Wellbeing Specialist.
Yeah. So we'll get that blab replay out there, and we'll include that affiliate link for the Get Fit Feel Fabulous program. And I might just also recap on those tips, just to remind you all about what we covered. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us. It looks like we had a few people from around the world, so that's awesome. Mm. And
thanks so much for having me, Bronwyn. I'd just like to say a huge shout out to this lady, because I only met her recently, and she is just such an inspiration when you hear her speaking about women uniting and how much we can get out of just connecting together and coming together and empowering each other. It is inspirational. So I really love what it is that you're doing. I love the new pin-up look. If you don't know Bronwyn already, this was not her normal look like a month ago, but this is her now day to day, which I think is just so groovy. And so go out and support each other, ladies, and always remember, above everything, that you are truly amazing, just the way that you are, and that you are so precious and you are so worthy of taking care of. So choose to go out and put yourself first sometimes, because it is not selfish. It is absolutely fundamental. You need to really look after your health and happiness so that you can be just a loving, healthy, happy mum that can go out and give your kids and your family and everyone around you the best of you. So, yeah, that's my final tip for the night. So, and thank you so much, Bronwyn, for having me. It's just been such a pleasure.
Perfect way to end. So, good night to everybody.
Great.